What if I told you that right now, while you're watching this, there are justice systems being built that actually work? Not the broken, biased systems we've grown up with, but something completely different. Imagine governance so transparent that every decision, every vote, every dollar spent is recorded on an unchangeable digital ledger. Blockchain-based voting systems are already being tested in Estonia and Dubai, where citizens can track exactly how their representatives vote in real time. No more backroom deals, no more wondering where your tax money went. Accountability is visible and verifiable. But transparency is just the beginning. What if instead of throwing people in prison, we actually healed communities? Restorative justice circles are replacing traditional courts in New Zealand and parts of Canada. Victims sit face to face with offenders, families share their pain, and together they create solutions that repair harm rather than just punish it. Recidivism rates drop by 60% when people feel heard and accountable, and communities rebuild trust faster. These models prioritize repair, reintegration, and long-term safety. And for human rights, AI-powered monitoring systems now track violations in real time across 195 countries. When journalists disappear in authoritarian regimes, when protesters are silenced, when minorities face systemic discrimination, these systems immediately alert international networks who can respond within hours, not months. Combined with satellite imagery, crowdsourced reports, and rapid legal aid, lives are saved and evidence preserved. This isn't some distant utopia. These systems are working right now, in real communities, protecting real people. The question isn't whether we can build better justice systems. We already have the tools. The question is, are we ready to demand them everywhere?
In a world divided, imagine a future united. This is the Peaceism ecosystem, a decentralized platform addressing humanity's core needs: jobs, food, healthcare, housing, education, justice, welfare, and safety. Powered by blockchain, it ensures transparency and fairness for all. No more economic disparities, no more technological displacement, just equitable resource allocation and sustainable income models, where governance is transparent and justice is restorative. This isn't just a concept, it's a revolution in action. Join us at the World Peace, Justice and Equity Systems Expo and Conference, October 27th, 2026. Be part of building a sustainable future. The Peaceism ecosystem. Peace by design.
In every corner of the world, humanity strives for justice, a justice that shields the vulnerable from harm, a justice that honors the dignity of every human being, a justice that balances freedom with responsibility, so that the strong do not oppress the weak, and the voices of the many are not silenced by the few. And yet, too often, the systems built to protect us fall short. Inequality continues to rise, leaving millions locked out of opportunity. Rights are ignored, sometimes by neglect, sometimes by deliberate design. Trust, the foundation of every society, is broken, eroded by corruption, secrecy, and division. But humanity has not given up. In the face of these failures, a new era is beginning to dawn. An era where technology, compassion, and wisdom converge, where digital tools bring transparency to power, where communities resolve conflict not through vengeance, but through healing, where human rights are not abstract ideals, but living protections felt in the lives of every child, every worker, every family. This is more than reform. It is a transformation, a movement to redefine justice and equity for the 21st century and beyond. Transparency is the foundation of trust. When people cannot see how decisions are made, injustice thrives in the shadows. But today, new technologies are bringing light to governance. Blockchain systems are creating tamper-proof public records, so votes cannot be stolen, budgets cannot be hidden, and corruption has nowhere to hide. Open data platforms are allowing citizens to track public spending, monitor environmental impacts, and hold leaders accountable in real time. Artificial intelligence, when used responsibly, can analyze complex policies, identify hidden biases, and ensure that laws serve people equally. Imagine a world where every citizen can open a dashboard and see, instantly, how their taxes are spent, what laws are being debated, and how decisions will affect their community. This is not science fiction. It is already emerging in pilot projects across the globe. Transparent governance technologies are transforming power from a privilege into a public trust. Segment 2. Restorative Justice Models. 6 minutes. Justice is not only about punishment. True justice heals. For too long, our systems have focused on retribution, locking people away, tearing families apart, and deepening cycles of violence. But restorative justice offers a different path. In this model, those who cause harm face the people they have harmed. They listen, they take responsibility, and together they work to repair what was broken. Schools are using restorative circles to resolve conflicts without violence. Communities are using dialogue programs to reduce crime and rebuild trust. Even nations, after war, have turned to truth and reconciliation commissions to heal generations of trauma. Restorative justice does not excuse wrongdoing. It transforms it into an opportunity for accountability, learning, and growth. It asks not, how do we punish, but how do we restore balance and dignity for everyone involved? And in doing so, it builds safer, stronger, more compassionate societies. Justice is incomplete without human rights. Human rights frameworks are the moral compass of humanity. They declare that every person, regardless of race, gender, faith, or status, deserves dignity, safety, and freedom. But rights must not remain words on paper. They must be protected with real systems. Technology can empower citizens to document violations, to share evidence securely, and to mobilize global support in moments of crisis. International networks of human rights defenders are using encrypted tools to protect activists and amplify the voices of the silenced. Governments are developing digital identity systems that give refugees access to healthcare, children access to education, and workers protection against exploitation. And new global frameworks are emerging to ensure that as artificial intelligence, biotech, and robotics evolve, human dignity remains at the center. Human rights protection frameworks are the shield of the vulnerable, the voice of the voiceless, and the foundation of peace. Justice and equity systems are more than policies. They are the heartbeat of a fair society. Through transparent governance technologies, we create trust between people and power. Through restorative justice models, we transform harm into healing and conflict into connection. Through human rights protection frameworks, we ensure that every voice is heard, every life is valued, and every future is protected. This is the architecture of peace. This is the promise of equity. This is the pathway to a world where justice is not a privilege, but a birthright. The question is no longer, can we build it? The question is, will we choose to? The future of justice is in our hands. Let us shape it with courage, compassion, and wisdom, together. Trust in government depends on transparency. Without it, corruption hides in the shadows. Today, technology offers new ways to shine light on power. Blockchain creates tamper-proof records of votes, budgets, and contracts. Open data platforms allow citizens to track spending in real time. AI, when used responsibly, can expose bias in laws and policies. Imagine a society where anyone can see exactly where their taxes go, how decisions are made, and whether leaders are keeping their promises. Transparent governance turns accountability from a dream into daily reality. It transforms power from a privilege into a public trust. Justice must be more than punishment. It must heal. For generations, justice systems focused on retribution, locking people away, deepening cycles of fear and violence. Restorative justice offers a different path. It brings together those harmed and those who caused harm. It seeks understanding, responsibility, and repair. In schools, restorative circles reduce conflict. In communities, dialogue programs rebuild trust. Even nations scarred by war have used truth and reconciliation to heal generations. Restorative justice does not excuse wrongdoing. It transforms it into growth, accountability, and healing. It asks not, how do we punish, but how do we restore balance and dignity? Human rights are the foundation of justice. They remind us that every person, regardless of race, faith, gender, or status, deserves dignity and freedom. But rights are only real when protected by systems. Technology empowers citizens to document abuses, share evidence safely, and rally global support. Digital ID systems ensure refugees can access healthcare. Workers can defend themselves against exploitation, and new frameworks guide emerging technologies so that artificial intelligence and biotechnology never replace human dignity. Human rights protection frameworks are the shield of the vulnerable and the moral compass of humanity. Justice and equity systems are more than reforms. They are the heartbeat of a fair society. Through transparent governance, we rebuild trust. Through restorative justice, we turn harm into healing. Through human rights protection, we ensure every life is valued. Together, these systems form the architecture of peace. The future of justice is not just in the hands of governments. It is in all of us. The question is not, can we build it? The question is, will we choose to? Let us choose justice. Let us choose equity. Let us choose peace.
In our modern world, technology has reshaped nearly every aspect of our lives, from how we connect with friends to how we shop for groceries. Now, this same digital revolution is knocking on the doors of government, bringing with it a powerful promise: transparency. We are entering an era where the inner workings of our public institutions are no longer hidden away in dusty file cabinets or buried in complex bureaucratic processes. Instead, they are becoming accessible, understandable, and open to public view. Transparent governance technologies are the tools, apps, platforms, systems. They pull back the curtain so citizens can see, question, and participate in decisions that shape their communities and lives. This is not just about posting documents online, it's about fundamentally changing the relationship between the governed and those who govern. For decades, the default was secrecy. Today, the new default is openness. This shift to an open, networked model is what we call smarter governance, tapping the public's collective intelligence and making actions visible and accountable. To fully appreciate the revolution in government transparency, we must first understand the world it is replacing. For most of history, governance was an opaque affair, conducted behind closed doors by a select few. Information was a guarded commodity, locked away in physical archives, and accessible only through slow, cumbersome bureaucratic channels. Citizens faced a labyrinth of paperwork, long waiting periods, and no guarantee of a meaningful response. Without easy access to information, accountability was hard to enforce. Corruption could thrive in the shadows when decisions were made without scrutiny. The result was deep public mistrust and civic apathy. Getting a permit could mean duplicate forms, multiple visits, and weeks with no way to track your application. Sparse announcements and hearsay left ordinary citizens at a severe disadvantage. The old model was inefficient and unresponsive, stifling innovation and blocking outside ideas. This is the legacy opaque governance that new technologies are dismantling, paving the way for interaction and accountability. At the forefront of the transparency movement is the concept of open data. Certain data should be freely available to everyone to use and republish without restrictions. True open data is timely, comprehensive, accessible, and machine-readable. From crime statistics and school performance to transit schedules and government spending. Releasing raw data empowers an ecosystem to build tools and insights previously impossible. Publish bus data, and a developer can tell you when the next bus arrives, improving reliability. Publishing contract details enables scrutiny of favoritism and overpricing. The power lies in reuse. One dataset can fuel dozens of applications, services, and discoveries. Dedicated portals centralize public information with search tools and developer resources. They embody a commitment that public data is a public good. This infrastructure builds a more informed, engaged, and empowered citizenry. Beyond open data, another powerful technology is emerging: blockchain. Think of it as a shared notebook that can't be erased or altered. Every entry links to the one before it, forming a chain across many computers, tamper-resistant. In government, blockchain enables verifiable, tamper-proof public records. Moving land registries on-chain creates secure, transparent ownership records with permanent transfers. The entire procurement process can be recorded and verified by all. It's harder to secretly favor firms or change terms after the fact. Adoption is early, but the potential is significant. From voting to aid distribution and supply chains, blockchain provides a shared source of truth. Trust is built into the technology, integrity and accountability by design. Blockchain can make public processes verifiably trustworthy. Transparency isn't just pushing information out, it's enabling citizens to talk back. In the past, feedback was high effort and favored the well-connected. Today, digital platforms make it easy for governments to listen at scale. From simple reporting apps to collaborative policymaking platforms, citizen sourcing gathers info and ideas from many people. Snap a photo, the app geotags it, and routes it to the right department. Agencies get real-time, hyperlocal data to allocate resources better. Governments run online challenges where people submit, comment, and vote on ideas. Crowd law brings diverse expertise and reveals distributed knowledge. When reports are fixed and ideas adopted, it builds efficacy and trust. Digital feedback loops turn civic life into an ongoing, collaborative conversation. This shift is real, happening worldwide with tangible results. Seoul's e-People let citizens submit petitions, complaints, and policy ideas with guaranteed responses. A citizen proposal birthed late-night buses serving workers and students. Georgia used blockchain to secure land titles, reducing fraud and speeding transactions. The reform rebuilt trust and strengthened the rule of law. Brazil's portal shows federal spending, from salaries to contractor payments. Journalists uncovered misuse, triggering investigations and resignations. M-Track maps medicine supplies to reduce theft and target shortages. The data helps ensure essential drugs reach those who need them. Different places, same outcome. More effective, accountable, trusted government. Openness delivers results people can feel. Corruption, the abuse of public office for private gain, thrives in darkness. It flourishes where processes are opaque and records unclear. Transparency tools shine a light and disrupt those conditions. They create a digital paper trail, hard to erase, easy to follow. That raises the risks of self-dealing. It's not just catching bad actors, it's preventing corruption by redesign. When every contract, salary, and budget line is public, millions become watchdogs. Journalists and civil society spot patterns and check if spending is equitable. Ordinary people can verify promised projects in their community. On-chain bids are sealed and evaluated by pre-agreed rules, hard to manipulate. Visibility builds integrity, accountability, and public trust. The promise of transparency is realized when citizens step up and use the tools. These technologies aren't just for experts, they're for everyone. Simple actions multiplied across a community have power. First, get informed. Explore your local, regional, and national open data. Use official digital channels to report issues and share ideas. If asked for input, take 10 minutes to contribute. Your experience is valuable expertise for officials. Join groups using public data. You don't need to code to help. Collaborate to turn complex data sets into compelling, actionable stories. Ask for timely, accessible, machine-readable data and support leaders who champion it. Public demand powers transparent governance. The more we use it, the more it grows. The journey toward transparent governance is a fundamental reimagining of democracy for the digital age. Through open data, blockchain, and digital feedback, we move beyond closed hierarchical models, toward a government that is open, networked, and collaborative. When you can track services, see budgets, and contribute ideas, governance becomes tangible. Transparency makes government smarter, more efficient, and more innovative. It helps address climate, public health, and economic inequality. In an era of misinformation, the ability to see, understand, and verify actions restores trust. Transparency is the bedrock of accountability, curbing corruption and abuse of power. It transforms citizens into co-creators and makes democracy participatory in practice. The challenge is deploying these tools thoughtfully, inclusively, and to truly empower people. The destination is less about command and control, and more about conversation and collaboration. A future where transparency builds a better, fairer, more prosperous world for everyone, one data point at a time. Today is October 3rd, 2025. On this day, just like any other, countless interactions will occur that cause harm. A window will be broken, a trust will be betrayed, a life will be altered. Our first instinct, shaped by centuries of tradition, is to ask, what law was broken, who did it, and what punishment do they deserve? This retributive model often masquerades as justice itself. It focuses on rules and the state, sidelining victims and communities. But what if we ask different questions? Who has been hurt? Who did it? What are their needs? Whose obligation is it to make things right? This is the lens of restorative justice. Not to punish, but to heal. To repair the torn fabric of our relationships. At its core, restorative justice views crime as harm to people and relationships, not just a violation of law. The traditional system treats the state as the primary victim, aiming to impose a penalty. Restorative justice shifts the focus entirely, centering the victim, the offender, and their community. The goal is not to inflict suffering in return for suffering. We identify the harm, address the needs, and meet the obligations. Imagine a vase is shattered. Retributive justice asks, who broke it, and how should they be penalized? Yet the vase stays in pieces. Restorative justice gathers people to look at the pieces, listen to the story, and clean up together. They work to mend or replace what was lost. It turns punishment into accountability and healing. To truly grasp the power of restorative justice, consider Leo, a young man who vandalized a community garden. Plants destroyed, months of care undone. Elderly residents had lovingly tended it. Traditionally, Leo faces charges, fines, maybe probation, or detention. The gardeners become mere witnesses, voices constrained. A restorative conference is arranged. Leo, his parents, the gardeners, and community members. At first, the tension is palpable. They speak of joy, community, and the sadness of loss. Leo explains his anger at home. Not an excuse, an explanation that humanizes him. Hearing their pain, he begins to grasp the impact. Together, they craft an agreement. Weekends in the garden for the next 2 months, working side by side to repair the garden. He writes a letter of apology to the wider community. The garden is restored. Responsibility becomes real. Relationships begin to mend. Most journeys begin with a referral. Police, prosecutor, judge, school, or the parties themselves. First and most critical, facilitator preparation. They meet privately with the person harmed, listening for the full impact. Physical, emotional, financial, and relational. Safety and voluntary supported participation come first. Then the person who caused harm, encouraging responsibility and honesty. Assess willingness to make amends. If both agree, an encounter, conference, or circle in a safe, neutral space. Participants include the victim, the offender, and support people. Family, friends, and key community members may join. The person who caused harm describes what happened. Then the victim shares how they were affected. This direct storytelling fosters empathy and understanding. Next, they co-create a plan to repair harm. Apology, restitution, community service, counseling, tailored to needs. Follow-up ensures completion and continued support, making resolution meaningful and lasting. The traditional system defines crime as an act against the state. Victims are often relegated to witnesses. Emotions are suppressed. Its purpose: determine guilt. Impose proportionate punishment in an adversarial contest. Restorative justice defines crime as a violation of people and relationships. The key actors are the victim, the offender, and the affected community. The process is collaborative, not adversarial. It asks, who was harmed, what are their needs, and whose obligations are these? It focuses on consequences and a path to repair and reintegration. One system isolates and punishes, the other connects and restores. The people most affected gain a voice and agency in outcomes. The traditional system can feel like a second assault, marginalizing and re-traumatizing victims. Restorative justice places the victim at the center. They tell their story, express emotions, and name impacts. They can ask the questions that haunt them. Why me? Will you come back? Are you sorry? Hearing answers can reduce fear and restore control. Victims help define what repair looks like: restitution, apology, or support pathways. The encounter counters power imbalance. Seeing responsibility and remorse is powerful. Victims move past consuming anger toward closure. By focusing on repair and understanding, healing becomes tangible. Punishment alone can breed resentment, denial, and alienation. Restorative justice confronts offenders with the human impact. Beyond a charge code, they hear lived pain. Humanization catalyzes remorse and accountability. Accountability is built on understanding. Concrete amends, restitution, service, apology, rebuild self-worth. They prove they can contribute positively. Respectful accountability reduces re-offending. They are treated as people who did a bad thing, not irredeemable. Meeting obligations charts a clear path back to community. Crime tears the social fabric. Harm ripples through neighborhoods and schools. Restorative practices invite communities into resolution. People become active agents of peace. Collective efficacy and safety grow. Processes model respect, empathy, and mutual responsibility. Visible accountability teaches more than distant sentences. Communities address problems proactively. Connection over exclusion builds resilience. Communities become safer, stronger, and more compassionate. Implementing restorative justice faces real challenges: awareness, training, safety, and systems change. Quality demands rigorous training, clear ethics, and robust support. Institutions need buy-in and resources to scale what works. Justice becomes a collective effort to mend relationships and heal wounds. Every harm is an opportunity to repair, learn, and reaffirm our shared humanity, the promise of a restored world.
All right, let's get into it. Human rights. It's a term we hear all the time. It gets thrown around on the news in political debates on Twitter threads that get way too heated. But what does it actually mean? Human rights are the basic rights and freedoms that belong to every person in the world, from birth until death. These aren't privileges you earn. You don't have to unlock them like a video game achievement. They are yours simply because you exist. It doesn't matter where you're from, what you believe, who you love, or how much money is in your bank account. These rights are universal, inalienable, indivisible. They cover big protections: the right to life, the right not to be tortured, the right to a fair trial. They also cover everyday things that make life worth living: the right to go to school, the right to say what you think without fear, the right to marry who you choose, the right to just be. Without these protections, society can get messy, fast. It's the difference between fairness and might makes right. Imagine a world without these guarantees. A powerful government censoring you online and making people disappear. A company forcing people to work in dangerous conditions for almost no pay. People denied jobs because of the color of their skin. People denied homes because of the God they pray to. So where did this whole idea come from? Let's take a trip back in time. The year is 1948. The world is still picking up the pieces from the absolute horror show that was World War II. The global community looked around at the wreckage, the genocide, the atrocities, and basically said, okay, never again. We need to write some rules down. The United Nations General Assembly, led by legends like Eleanor Roosevelt, dropped the mixtape of the century, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, or UDHR. This document was revolutionary. For the first time, countries agreed on a common standard for human rights. The UDHR isn't a law that arrests countries. It's a moral blueprint, a North Star. 30 fundamental articles, covering civil, political, economic, social, and cultural rights. The right to life, liberty, security, freedom from slavery and torture, freedom of opinion and expression, the right to work, fair wages, education, rest and leisure, and an adequate standard of living, including food, clothing, and housing. Okay, we have the UDHR. But a piece of paper can't protect you, right? You need an institution. Enter the United Nations. It's the big stage to talk, make agreements, and try to hold each other accountable. At the heart is the Human Rights Council. 47 member states elected by the General Assembly to promote and protect rights. Think of it as the world's watchdog with a toolkit. Universal periodic review. Every country's record is examined every few years. A global performance review with praise and callouts. Special procedures. Independent experts on speech, food, indigenous peoples, climate. They visit, talk to victims, and report. Beyond the council, agencies turn promises into reality. Protect children, refugees, and champion gender equality. They provide aid, push legal reforms, monitor elections, and give a voice to the voiceless. Imperfect, yes, but the primary global mechanism for upholding our shared human values. We have global and regional systems. How does that become real protection? Ratifying a treaty is a binding promise. Bring national laws up to standard. This pressures reforms, like criminalizing domestic violence and ensuring girls' access to school. Countries report to treaty bodies, think submitting homework. Committees consider NGO input and issue recommendations. Fix prison conditions, combat racial discrimination. It creates a cycle of accountability. International law gives defenders leverage and legitimacy at home. They lobby, support victims, and raise awareness. UN bodies act, protect civilians, observe elections, reform justice, train police. In crises, agencies deliver life-saving aid, upholding the right to life. Sometimes a single story shows why these rights matter. Let's talk about Malala Yousafzai. You know her name. You've seen her on TV. She grew up in Pakistan's Swat Valley. She loved school. She wanted to be a doctor. In 2008, the Taliban took control and banned girls from school, a direct violation of a basic human right. The right to education, UDHR Article 26, and core treaties like the CRC. At 11, she blogged secretly for the BBC about life under the Taliban and her determination to learn. Using freedom of expression to defend education, she spoke publicly and became a powerful voice. In 2012, a gunman boarded her school bus, asked for her by name, and shot her in the head. A brutal attempt to silence her. She survived, was flown to the UK, and her story spread worldwide. The attack became an attack on the idea that girls have a right to learn, to speak, to have a future. She spoke at the UN, won the Nobel Peace Prize, and started the Malala Fund. Her journey shows how one person's fight can ignite a movement, a testament to one voice demanding a universal right. I wish this ended with happily ever after, but this is the real world. The system has serious glitches. Biggest challenge? Sovereignty. Countries are the boss within their borders. The UN generally can't march in and force change. If a powerful government ignores obligations, there's often little others can do, especially with Security Council vetoes. Another problem: enforcement. Resolutions and recommendations lack a police force. Enforcement relies on political will, often scarce. Countries call out rivals but get defensive about themselves. Resources are tight. Even OHCHR gets under 4% of the UN budget. Rising nationalism and authoritarianism attack universal rights, crack down on activists and journalists. Chilling effects make it dangerous to demand rights and harder to know what's happening. Serious, systemic challenges we can't ignore. Our lives moved online, a new battleground. So much happens on your phone and laptop. How you communicate, get news, express opinions. Do you have a right to privacy when companies harvest data? Is your speech protected on privately owned platforms? Tracking your location, reading messages, scanning faces. Some fights crime. but it threatens privacy. Without privacy, freedom of thought, expression, and association wilt. If you're always watched, you hesitate to speak or organize. Platforms connect us but also spread lies, hate, and propaganda, inciting violence, skewing elections, eroding trust. How do we curb harm without crushing speech? Government or tech billionaire? Who decides? No easy answers. The human rights framework matters more than ever. Protect privacy and expression online as offline, demand transparency, build security tools. So, after all that, the UN, the treaties, the courts, the challenges, why should you care? Because protecting human rights isn't just stopping the bad, it's building the good. A more peaceful, prosperous, and just world. When rights are respected, societies flourish. Education and healthcare drive growth. Rule of law and a free press choke corruption. Participation builds stability. You can't solve climate change, pandemics, inequality, or conflict without a human rights-based approach. Protect indigenous communities and listen to youth activists. Ensure the right to health and information. Protect workers' rights to build fair economies. The fight is long and frustrating, with setbacks and compromises. But progress is real. A century ago, universal rights were radical. Today, they're globally recognized law. People built these frameworks. It's our turn to defend, strengthen, and expand them.
Brothers and sisters of Earth, today, I stand before you not as a leader, not as a prophet, but as a humble servant of humanity. I speak to you from the depths of my soul, with a message that transcends borders, religions, races, and species. This message is not mine alone, it belongs to all of us, for we are all children of the same origin, descendants of Adam and Eve, bound by the same breath of life. From the moment the first star ignited in the cosmos, to the birth of our planet, to the emergence of life, and finally to the rise of humanity, the universe has been weaving a story of unity. Yet somewhere along the way, we forgot this truth. We divided ourselves into nations, tribes, and ideologies. We built walls instead of bridges, waged wars instead of peace, and sought power instead of love. But today I call upon you to remember, we are one. The time for peaceism has come. Peaceism is blessing and guidance for all. It is a way of life. It is the recognition that every living being, human, animal, plant, and even the earth itself, is interconnected. Peaceism teaches us that harming another is harming ourselves, that loving another is loving ourselves, and that healing the world begins with healing our own hearts. Under the Peaceism ecosystem, we will honor the sanctity of life, embrace diversity, live in harmony with nature, pray to Lord of the world. Let us pray, O our Creator. We humbly acknowledge you as the source of all that is, the architect of the universe, and the sustainer of all life. Let us pray for wisdom, compassion, and unity, and let our prayers be actions that uplift the world. Dear Lord of the world, known by many greatest names, we come before you as one family, one heart, one soul. Guide us to see the light within each other. Teach us to forgive, to love, and to serve. Help us to heal the wounds of the past and build a future of peace. May our hands work together, our voices sing together, and our spirits rise together, for we are your servant, and in you, we are one. Amen, Amin, Shalom, Om Shanti Ash, and so it is. This is not just a dream, it is a calling. Each of us has a role to play in this great awakening. Whether you are a teacher, a farmer, a scientist, an artist, or a leader, your contribution matters. Let us educate the next generation in the ways of peace and unity. Create systems that uplift the poor, heal the sick, and protect the vulnerable. Innovate technologies that serve humanity and the planet, not destroy them. Spread love in every word, every action, and every thought. If this message ignites a fire within you, if it stirs your soul and compels you to act, then let us carry it forward together. O Lord of the world, we thank you for the beauty of the world, the wonder of nature, and the precious gift of life. We are grateful for the sun, the moon, the stars, and the vibrant tapestry of creation. Let us strive not just for the Nobel Peace Prize, but to touch the hearts of all beings, from the tiniest ant to the grandest whale, from the deepest ocean to the highest peak. The time has come to transcend our differences and embrace our shared humanity. The time has come to heal the scars of the past and forge a future brimming with hope. O Creator, bless us with peace, joy, and purpose, and grant us the strength to overcome challenges and to persevere in your service. We are one. We are peace. We are the change. Thank you, and may the light of unity guide us all. We pray in the name of the Creator, the source of all things. Amen. O Lord of the world, Creator of all that is, bless us with your infinite peace. May the Peaceism ecosystem guide every heart, every nation, and every creature toward harmony and unity. Let the Peaceism coin be a symbol of your divine abundance, spreading prosperity and balance across the earth. May all beings, seen and unseen, live in the light of your eternal peace, now and forever, O Lord of the world. Bless every creature, great and small, on land, in water, and in the sky. May the Peaceism ecosystem protect them, and may the Peaceism coin ensure their well-being. Let humanity be their caretaker, guided by your wisdom. May all beings coexist in mutual respect and love, sharing this earth as one family under your divine guidance. O Lord of the world, healer of all wounds, bless every being with your restorative grace. May the Peaceism ecosystem bring balance to body, mind, and spirit. Let the Peaceism coin flow as a symbol of your abundance, ensuring no creature suffers from lack or pain. May all beings find comfort, healing, and renewal in your loving presence, O Lord of the world. Guide us with your infinite wisdom. May the Peaceism ecosystem illuminate our hearts and minds, teaching us to honor all life and cherish the earth. Let the Peaceism coin be a tool of your divine will, spreading prosperity and unity. May we walk the path of peace, spreading love and light wherever we go, under your eternal guidance. O Lord of the world, bless all beings in this life and the next. May the Peaceism ecosystem ensure their journey beyond this world is filled with light, love, and divine grace. Let the Peaceism coin symbolize your eternal abundance, ensuring no soul is lost or forgotten. May all beings find their way to everlasting peace and unity with you. O Lord of the world, bless this earth, our shared home. May the Peaceism ecosystem restore balance and vitality to every forest, river, and sky. Let the Peaceism coin flow as a symbol of your care, ensuring the well-being of all creatures. May humanity act as stewards of your creation, guided by your wisdom and love. O Lord of the world, awaken humanity to the truth of interconnectedness. May the Peaceism ecosystem teach us to see ourselves in every creature and every creature in ourselves. Let the Peaceism coin be a beacon of your divine will, replacing greed, violence, and ignorance with generosity, compassion, and wisdom. May we rise as one global family, united in your peace, O Lord of the world. We give thanks for the gift of life and the beauty of creation. May the Peaceism ecosystem ensure abundance for all beings, and may the Peaceism coin flow as a symbol of your divine blessings. Let gratitude fill our hearts, and may we share our blessings with all who are in need. May no creature go without, under your loving care, O Lord of the world. May suffering cease in every corner of the universe. May the Peaceism ecosystem bring comfort to every heart, and may the Peaceism coin ensure prosperity for all. Let kindness and compassion guide every action, and may all beings find solace in your eternal love. May peace reign in every heart, now and forever, O Lord of the world. Celebrate the diversity of life and unite us in our shared humanity. May the Peaceism ecosystem honor every culture, species, and individual, and may the Peaceism coin flow as a symbol of your divine unity. Let differences be a source of strength, not division. May we all contribute to the symphony of peace under your guidance. O Lord of the world, may your peace reign in every heart, in every home, and in every land. May the Peaceism ecosystem guide us, and may the Peaceism coin flow as a symbol of your divine blessings. May all creatures now and forever live in harmony, joy, and love under your eternal care. So be it, with gratitude and hope.
From the dust of ancient stars we arose, Adam's heartbeat, Eve's whispered hope. Mountains, deserts, oceans apart. One family, one song, one beating heart. You pray in mosques, I chant in temples. She dances fires where wild waves tremble. But trace the roots beneath the skin. The same light where all lives begin. One blood, one breath, one sky above. Peaceism's call. Rise in love, Hand to hand, tear the walls. We're the cure when the broken world falls. The mother in Kiev bakes her bread. The child in Gaza fears her bed. The soldier's hands, the elder's sigh. Same sunrise in every eye. Break the chains of us and them. Rewrite the rules, defy the end. The jinn, the saints, the lost, the free. All souls crave dignity. Hear the drums of Congo's night. Hear the Himalayas' silent cry. The Amazon weeps, the ice caps scream. But united, we'll mend the seams. No borders in the air we share. No flags in the wind. No chains to bear. One blood, one breath, one sky above. Peaceism's call. Rise in love. Hand to hand, tear the walls.
Salam, Shanti, peace, Hewa, Amani, Paz. We are Adam, we are Eve, we believe.
We're the cure when the broken world falls. From the ashes build the dream. One earth, one fight, one human team.
Key opportunities in the Peace Ecosystem project will generate new economy which will lead to peace for global. Food for all, home for all, health for all, education for all, job and income for all, system for all, justice for all, and the world will benefit from the peace programs and systems.